in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, y'all cast.
Well,
Ramirez.
yeah. Here we are again in the
Without the delay.
qualifying. And we had a little bit of problems with the stream, but I think sorted out now, kinda. And yeah,
A lot of cars are going to be out of for their pressure around this 5.5 kilometer second will be astronomical. There's a lot of places to invalidate. There's a lot of curbs that could ease into a spin or on.
wait, is
Well,
am
with
I
him,
lucky or
no, with him decommissioned for right now. We're on board with Combined YouTuber, who's currently one of the only guys out there doing a lap. He's in the Haas. We just saw Haas in Division 3 and non-Trivedi absolutely, put on a show. And so, can he follow in a similar vein? We know Combine's fast. Eruption, I think you raced with him previously.
Yeah.
So what can you say about him as a driver?
Yeah, he's pretty clean, pretty solid, and also little French. I thought I was lucky and I checked what's wrong now, but either way, yeah, Combined is a pretty clean driver, pretty solid driver, can score solid points, he can fight, and yeah, doing a little bit of towing
Yeah, quite
along
a
the
bit of
straight.
teamwork right there.
Yeah.
That's resulted in a purple middle sector.
Oh, it's back now. Think. Well,
As
either
he
way,
exits.
I don't think he can hear us.
That's okay. This Combined YouTuber is in the final sector, coming to the final turn, and there's a car in the way. He's going to lose a little bit of time right there, and he's only going to do a 33.7.
Yeah, it's interrupted by traffic, and that's... He's been interrupted by traffic.
Absolute chaos.
He doesn't know, he doesn't know.
And so now we got, basically all the drivers out on track right now are doing their final laps. I think Eric McNerney just crossed the line. If we go on to Alvarez, who's about to cross the line, he's 3/10 up. Where does he go from P17 to P9? So that's a great jump.
That's a great lap from Alvarez. Big jump, track improvement at an all-time high here.
Colin Edwards will be the next man to cross the line. He's currently sitting in P4. Can he hop into those 132s? He's currently sitting at a 133.3.
Let's go. Yeah, I think he may get up to Sarah, maybe, with a good exit.
Who booted
Does
me
he
out?
get it? He gets it.
Ooh, Colin.
32.8.
Who booted me out of
Let's see,
the
Sarah.
broadcast thing?
Up to a 32.8, goes even faster now. You'll see next up is
Dougie.
Freddy Rosell. P4.
Nathan Dunn's in the gravel trap at turn 19.
Validates.
Falcons into turn 19 then. Car off. He's got a car in the way, but like it's interrupting him too much. Diving into the pits there. The Alpha Tauri of Totiskin. Up to the line. Dougie Falcons goes third fastest, the 133.0.
Yeah, it was a very good lap. Now Sarah on the pole position. Nathan goes into the pits. Now Simon up into the last corner. Goes in follow, but was way slower. So yeah, that's done and dusted. Syra on the pole position with 32.9. Pretty close of Colin.
Yeah, Colin had a great lap. beating out Dougie Falcons, Freddie Rizal, just a bunch of super fast drivers. Both Syra and Colin. Syra didn't have the greatest showing in Singapore. He's kind of a mixed bag. You don't really know what you're gonna get. But today you got pole position, and what a great lap from them.
Mm.
Anyway, we've got the 10-lap sprint race, and as Blue Collar Jesus has a 5-place penalty that we forgot about, which means that everybody that starts at least 12 places above, so it's Shry, Nathan Doan, Ranger, Simon, Mateo, will start one position higher
And he's gone again.
than you.
Oh, there was he again. Anyways, yeah, and also I've seen in the McLaren paddock that the race will be raining, or will be raining.
Yes.
So I don't know about the sprint. I think it will be dry.
I believe the sprint is dry, but I did get some reports that it'll be a wet race. So that'll be interesting to see. Do you think is there a wet setup here, or what kind of wings would you run? Would you up it? Would you change anything? Would you keep it the same?
I would change it. I would go to a high downforce setup. And I think Alvarez is running intermediate or a wet setup. I gave him, so he might be good for the race, but in the sprint he might lose some time because the sprint is dry, and we'll see if it pays off.
Absolutely, and we saw in the D3 race some guys got a little jumpy. I think we saw what 2 drive-throughs. Obviously Division 2, they're a little bit more seasoned. They're a little bit cool, calm under pressure. So we're gonna see what they can do as they come to the lights.
And they go off, and pretty good set from Sarah, gets away well, and a big snap of oversteer from Freddy, loses multiple positions, and Sarah Dutchy, tries over the Colin and does so and goes up to P2. Sarah gets a little bit of space in front of Dougie, and yeah, the big loser is of course Freddy, down to P8 with the big snap of oversteer at the start. And also, I think Simon lost a lot of positions. Ranger and Simon down 10 positions. And the big gainer of the start is Mateo in P5, gained 5 positions, and also Alvarez up 5 positions up to P7. And if he goes through with P7, he might have a shot for good result in the race because he's running the wet setup, I think. And also Patolak is getting up 6 positions, and there's already very good fightings in the midfield. At the front, it's kind of based out at the moment. Syra pulling.
Oh, and there's a car around. That's Eric McNerney in the Alfa Romeo. Gone down all the way down to P20, spun around right there. Maybe a little contact right there. It gets so dicey. But yet, just as you were commenting that that midfield fight was just so close.
Yep.
And at the end of lap 1, Sarah leads by 0.8 of a second from Dougie Falcons. Colin Edwards, it's Shry up into P4, and it has not been a great start. Combined YouTuber down to 12, but it has been a good start for X-Max up to 14th.
Exactly.
Right? As we start lap 2. Will Sarah be able to pull out of the DRS here? We've seen an old is not that difficult around this circuit, but it can always come with a high risk of a crash.
Yeah, and I was on board with Freddie Rizal right there, and he just following Alvarez through the S is just pretty well. There's a little bit on traction right here, but he's gonna have the long straight to make up for it. But no DRS just yet.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Alvarez spamming the battery already down to 45%, and Fred has still a lot of battery to play with. And also, Blue Collar Jesus, I think that's Garrett.
Alvarez playing it, pushing very hard to stay with Garrett Elder. He knows he might be vulnerable to maybe losing positions later on if he doesn't stay with Geralder. So we'll see some interesting planning, as Freddy Rizal has nearly all the battery in the world.
Yeah, Fred saved quite a bit of battery right there. Just, I think, waiting for DRS to open, and then he's really going to make his move on Alvarez, because he's just been sticking to the back of him perfectly.
Yep. Maybe Alvarez is struggling a little bit with the setup, but still he's doing a very good job. Also,
little Alpine switch around right there. My apologies for cutting you off right there, but 4 and 5, Mateo gets up to 4, Schrei P5.
Alpine may have swapped their cars around. Let's see, will Mateo be able to catch up to the leading three?
Eruption, we're completely detached.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh.
Then it waits for fun.
Oh, Colin Edwards. Probably got tricked in a DRS game.
Yeah, maybe I think Dougie had a moment, because I think that wasn't planned with the chicken DRS game.
Definitely wasn't. Let's see into.
And Alvarez goes for a move on Blue Collar Jesus, goes up the inside. Does he get it? Will he get his stick? Blue Collar Jesus is going to be on the inside for this next turn. Does Alvarez have the nose? No, Blue Collar Jesus stays in front, stays on the inside, but he goes around the outside there. Alvarez with a beautiful move.
And then Freddy Rizal
into
turn 15 doesn't make it stick, but Alvarez with a brilliant move.
And Fred does make it stick.
And Fred does make it stick later. Beamer G's also been involved, has been brought into the. What a move by Alvarez, round the outside at turn 14. You don't often see that, do you?
That was a beautiful move. Beautiful move.
Yep, exactly.
Not the part of the circuit you see a move down the outside with so little grip from the rear tires, and how easy it is to spin there. But Tara has pulled out a decent lead from Colin Edwards and Dougie Falcons.
Sarah's now controlling the race with 1.4 seconds ahead, and I think if he does that in the race too, he will be fine. But yeah, it's still 6 laps to go, anything can happen. And also Dougie made up a little bit of ground. He will have DRS right now, and both are at the same ERS level, so this could be interesting. Same for Ichira and Mateo, but I think also Mateo down on ERS, and Ichira has some left, but they have a hungry McLaren at the back at P6, so they need to watch out for that.
Watch for Alvarez, though. He's ended up with 3% battery, now 6% braking zone, but Alvarez really not really going to make himself vulnerable if he does drop out of the DRS, especially when Freddy Rizal is still on 70-80% charge. So I think Mateo could be doing something good to Alpine here, but Alvarez, if he drops out of the DRS and Freddy doesn't spam battery, I think Alvarez will have none as Mateo goes off the track at turn 19.
And then in the back, P16 and 17, we just saw Simon and Ranger having a phenomenal battle. Simon just went along the outside, similar to Alvarez, got past him. Ranger was fighting as best he could, but it looks like Simon's going to make the move stick throughout the rest of the lap.
As we start lap 5, the halfway mark of this sprint race, here at the Circuit of the Americas, Sarah holds on, and Dougie Falcons and Colin Edwards have dropped back, especially on Dougie's side. He is no longer in DRS.
So the first one, picks up the 3 seconds. It's Dan on the Williams behind Max, and also wanted to notice that Dougie is, I think, a pet driver. I don't know if he switched to wheel already. But still, Coda is a nightmare for pet users, so he might struggle with that.
I wouldn't quite say Coda is a nightmare, only the first sector is, but this is not a controller track, and we won't be going to one until Abu Dhabi in 2 weeks. So I think that
and
could
Fred
be
and Alvarez are side to side again. Can Fred go on the outside, or is Alvarez going to make it stick on the inside? Fred's still on the outside. They're going to go side by side through multiple corners. Fred's still on the inside.
15, Alvarez.
Oh, and there's contact, and they're both out.
Alvarez is out of the race. And it's a dumb move if I've seen one. And the safety car has been deployed.
Okay, that's interesting. We've seen a safety kind of sprint race. Well, that's not very good for Zyra, but it may open an opportunity for someone to pit for soft and then try to push.
Yep.
And the only one who does it is Max.
We see Max already coming in for that soft tire. He knows it's going to pay off, especially with the tire rates around here. It is very, very high. And Jack Fletcher and Nick McNerney also pit for that fresh C4 soft.
So maybe we can see some overtakes members. Sorry if I'm interrupting you. Maybe Max is now blissing through the fill with that soft tire. Because I think that medium tire is already won up to like, I don't know, 15 to 20%. Wind you're still fine, but the softs will be hella fast.
But how many laps will we get of clean running, do you think?
I would say the final 2 laps.
Final 2 laps.
Or 3.
I mean, it could happen this lap, to be honest. If Eric and Jack catch the train.
So Eric went on to another set of mediums. That had to have been a mistake, right?
Yeah, that's surely a mistake. Because the softs will easily make it in 3-4 laps, so it's like a qualifying sprint till the end. Those soft tires.
Pretty much is. See.
I think
the safety car will probably be in at the end of the next lap.
Maybe we'll see some other people pitting for soft tires. But I don't think we will. Maybe Eric, because he chose that second set of medium tires.
Not the best strategy, that's for sure, from Eric McNerney. But let's see, will he be able to?
Oh, Max does again.
Max pits again for that soft tire. That's interesting. Is he just not confident?
I mean, he will have fresher soft tires.
He has a new
he's pitting for a new front wing, so maybe damage somewhere.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Yeah, but the surprising thing is that Eric stayed out on those fresh mids and didn't change it to soft tires. I mean, he would be lost anyways if he would have changed it, so it wouldn't make a difference, except he would have been on softs for the last 2 laps. But yeah.
I think so. Max is 15 seconds behind the pack. He should be in that train before the start of the final sector. So we're going to get 3 laps of racing Dakota, which will mean that the DRS will probably not be enabled except the final lap. And we here X-Max has caught up to the back of that train. Sara leads the field.
And also, I'm kind of interested how people will warm up the tires, especially rear tires, because Sector 3 is so important for the rear tires, for the rear grip.
She goes in on this lap, and Sara goes onto the grass. 13, I think. Tire warm-up will be done through burnouts, but you can never be too sure in this game. The traction control there is for safety car restarts does, I think, almost kill your potential at tire warm-up. But let's see.
Yeah, Sara does lead it away now.
When will Sara give? When will Sara boot that throttle down as he restarts this as the safety car restart here at Coda?
if he's smart, he will do it after of the last corner because a lot of people will struggle with the regular and he goes away.
Yeah,
Maybe
he does it.
maybe you'll see now some a big snap of oversteer. Maybe you'll see some people now spinning it away, but it doesn't seem like
Anyway,
it.
let's see. Beamer and Blue Collar Jeans is already side by side into that first corner. As you see there, Patataskin rolling up the tires. Freddie Rizal up the on a combined YouTuber nearly getting Potato Skin. Ooh, a combined YouTuber getting spun around, I think. That's not a great restart. He's dropped a few places, down to 13th. But it won't be 14th. Beamer NG also gets past, and ooh, that's hurt. Spinning at turn 2, but he is recovered with not much time to lose.
And also Max already overtook Eric, and Jack and Max are now the soft runners as
Ooh,
Max
and Max
spins it
spins
away.
round. Commentator's curse.
Yes.
Commentator's curse.
Now Jack tried. Ooh, bit risky there.
Oh, a
Pretty-
risky one.
And it's a very big dive from Jack there, going free right into the corner. Now
Freddy's
Fred.
over Potato Skin as we head down into the final sector.
And Jack
that's
Fletcher
the move
goes on
done.
the inside of Simon right there, makes a stick, goes, compromises his corner a little bit, but he's going to get the position, or they're still side by side.
They're not quite over with this as they head around 13
Oh!
to 14. Ooh, bit of a mistake. He's got on the grass, and I think that's it. He's
Yep.
not going to have to fight Eric McNerney as combined YouTuber throws it at turn 15. And that is, I think, his chance of a top 10 over, sadly.
Yeah, but still, it's the sprint, so we can make up that in the race. And yeah,
Yeah,
the
a
front
lot.
Sarah hits it away.
Lot can be made up still. You never know. You never know what happens in Formula 1.
And Nathan Doan is on the rear of Blue Collar Jesus, and Fred on the rear of him. So it'll be interesting to see if they can follow through the S's. And they do.
Nathan down there, taking as much curb as he can get away with, down to 5th for the fast left-hander as he makes his way through the final few corners of the S's, following nicely, but they have been separated a little bit due to the requirements of the S's, as we've got a yellow flag, and that is Jack Fletcher round at turn 9. Head then down to the final sector. Will Colin Edwards possibly snatch P1 on the last lap, on the second last lap? He doesn't do it on lap 9. He doesn't have a lot of room. And Sarah, as Frizzell goes past Nathan Dolan, they're fighting through turn 13. Side by side as they make their way into 14. Nathan Dolan gets up the inside, but watch out for Freddie Rizal because he's still on the lookout. Watch that. Nathan Doan down the outside at 15 makes it stick. Now it's up into 8th. Although it's still not quite done. No.
Wow,
10
they
to
are
19,
battling.
he tries to hold it, but it didn't. It didn't quite work. It's not an overtaking opportunity there, Fred.
And now DRS is enabled for the final lap, so we may see a lot of overtakes, but we may also see a lot of carnage. With that
CLE
much.
changing for the sprint pole position, and 8 points are up for grabs. As we see through the S's, Colin Edwards following nicely behind the Red Bull.
Here's a gap of half a second, and I think with that battery that Cyrus and Fitz had collect a 3-second time penalty. Cyrus now spamming, so does Colin, so does Dougie,
Yeah.
but I think Sarah
They're
will
all gonna be-
safe.
Henry Sarah will have to make a Red Bull as wide as possible, down into 13. It's not happening, but the Alpines are fighting. Beamer's on the outside. Matteo holding it. Beamer's on the outside. Schrei gets, and Matteo gets the rougher end of the stick into 13, and Beamer NG doesn't quite hold on. Well, Matteo launches a broad dive into 15, and that will not be the case. But yeah,
Colin Edwards
they're into the
is
final.
on the rear tire of...
he's already on the rear wing into the final 2 corners.
Oh.
Goes Colin Edwards. Sarah holds it nicely. Down the outside, that's some big balls defending into the final corner. Syra survives the attacks to take pole position.
That was some interesting last two corners by Syra and Colin, but Syra takes it home, makes it stick, and also
Very hairy.
Dougie.
Combined YouTube.
Dougie.
Throwing himself into the wall.
Interesting.
So very good finish from Dougie into P3, a try P4, and Beamer with the P5 made up 10 positions from what I've seen. So another great race from Beamer, which you can see there, drive of the day, Beamer, and he will start P5 for the Division 2 race, and maybe we'll see a Division 2 dub from him with the crazy top speed, but he needs to beat Itchry, Dougie, Colin, and Sarah to make that win. But yeah, as you can see it here, Sarah won it, Colin, Dougie, Itchry, Beamer, Matteo, Garrett Elder, Nathan Doan, Freddy Russell, Patodoskin, Simon, Dan, Fitzdigwell, Eric Menani. Then, let me scroll down a bit. Combined then Max with that little soft stint, but it didn't pay off. Then Ranger, then Jack Fletcher, and the only DNF in that race from ours. And now we are seeing, from what I've heard, a bad race.
And it is.
There is.
It is a down part of the US Grand Prix. And this will mean some interesting grip levels. Get about the dry and the high downforce you're accustomed to in those conditions. It will be especially not fun to get the power down, especially through some of those longer corners.
Exactly. And we'll see which driver has the right setup, and Nathan Doan left the session, interestingly. So does Dan. Maybe we get a lobby restart.
Yes, we are. Confirmation we're getting a lobby restart as a result of just the game not being great. We're having some desync issues apparently. And so
we will have a lobby restart, yes.
Yep.
So then we will come back to you as broadcasters in probably 4 minutes is my guess.
And welcome to Texas for the Grand Prix in the what? Be a slow one, a long one, and a tough race on the Circuit of the Americas.
Yep, that's true. As we have heard, the full race is gonna be wet, or better said, at the end, it's getting a little bit less. But yeah, it will be wet start, so we'll see maybe some people struggle, maybe some people fly away into the distance, but yeah, we'll see how the start will go.
Shell mentioned earlier in I can't remember if it was a sprint race or the qualifying how this isn't a great pad track. Does the introduction of the wet weather change anything? Because doesn't controller get that little bit of extra pad traction? Would that help him or?
Yeah, like the pad traction is still there, but it got a little bit nerfed in comparison to Lauskin. But the driving is now slower, so it may help a little bit. But as the lights go on, the 5 red lights, and we are going away. A great start from Colin Edwards, and someone spun already. That's
Jesus already spun.
And
Garrett
Dougie
Elder,
Falcons with a
and
great start as well, and there's a safety car?
Dougie with an amazing start already, and it's Shry almost up in the 3rd place as X-Max with a giant dive first hairpin.
What?
Making up places. And there is a safety car for some reason.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
virtual safety car.
Obviously, it had something to do with Blue Collar Jesus.
Okay, then.
He's in P19 with no wing. And the man who started on pole, Syra, already down into P3 before we even got to the first corner. Just an absolutely abysmal start from him. Hoping to regain those places. Sorry?
Syra with a bad start. Dougie and Colin getting the leg up on their rival. But there are 28 long to go. And anything can happen. As the track is back to green flag running. As Beamer and Shry already. Beamer, Shry versus Syra already in a fight for the final spot on the podium.
Beamer.
Good...
Sorry. Yeah, Beamer gets through up to P4, so... Oh, and Colin Edwards spun away. I think there was contact between him and Syra.
Beamer up to P2.
Oh. Yeah, Beamer is cooking.
Up to second place. Beamer indeed is cooking. Good driver in the wet. We saw that at Barcelona last season. In D2. But Combined YouTuber has left the session and is down in 14th.
Syra goes for a move on Beamer and turn to turn 1. Doesn't get the traction he needs, has to back out of it.
Yeah, and...
it's going to be another opportunity pretty soon after. Down towards that first hairpin. 41 meters. As... we'll start going to cut back.
I know. It's Beamer against Syra, and... yeah, this would be pretty funny if Beamer wins this, but still... there is a Ferrari driver called Dougie Falcons, 1.5 seconds ahead, and he still needs to catch up and overtake him.
Combined YouTuber is back in the session. He's down at 15.
Right now, oh, dude, I'm just looking around. So many drivers are struggling right now. Matteo had a little off track. Freddie Rizal goes on, takes a little dive at Nathan Doan in the Ferrari.
He's gone up the inside.
And makes it.
And we had a little pre-talk before the race, and Freddie said that he will win that race no matter what, and Nathan tries to overtake him around the outside, but didn't work out as he intentioned.
The curbs and doesn't have a lot of grip.
Oh, it's Shry.
It's Shry. has gone for a spin.
Yeah, but still, he lost only 2 positions to his teammate and Freddy. But now Freddy's on a very, very aggressive charge.
Sorry. Oh, and Fitz Dickwell versus X Max. Side by side in a turn 9 into 18 is not. Ooh, and Eric McNerney's gone round as well. But side by side into turn 18, 19, and 20 is not what you expect around this circuit. And they're still fighting as they head up the hill into the first corner to start lap 3.
Yeah, and Alvarez has left the session. Pretty unfortunate for him in P13, now 14.
Yeah.
And Fitz Dickwell gets ahead of Max right there after that super long battle. He stays in 11th place, but had a little bit of a shake right there. Can Max take advantage of it? Not in the S's.
And Ranger already with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So those will play a big role determining who will actually win this. And who finishes where.
Indeed.
And Alvarez has a spin as I just watched Ranger and Jack Fletcher just drive straight through his Ghost.
Yeah, but Alvarez has been kicked out of the lobby. As reports from the paddock state that. And Alvarez is back. In P18.
Yeah, at the front, it's Dougie leading with still a pretty comfortable lead with 1.4 seconds. And Beamer's ahead of Sarah. Sarah didn't got the best start.
Let's see, will Sarah be driving a little more cautiously? Perhaps. Maybe he wants that podium. As Dougie Falcons, a 1:52.1.
And I'm also wondering if Duncan had a word with Sarah, because normally he would have already binned it. And yeah, he's finding, got a little bit of oversteer there, but he kept it straight. And that was a cut too, and I think another cut.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm still finding her.
Sarah. As Sarah struggling for traction out of that left-hander up the hill as he goes down in 11. He got 43% battery. Beamer has 62%, and overtaking in these conditions is very, very tough. No slipstream to help, not much slipstream, and the only thing that helps out is the battery. So we head as Sarah thinks for a minute, doesn't quite.
He nearly runs into the back of Beamer. It was pretty close, and both of them spammed a lot of ERS, especially Sarah, who is down to like 25% if I'm seeing it correctly.
27.
Yeah.
Close.
And yeah, Dougie sitting comfortably 2.3 seconds ahead with plenty of battery in his car. And also Freddy's a little bit closing to both of them and has pretty good battery, so Dougie Falcons goes even faster with a 52 dead.
Oh, and Max dies on the inside of Fitz Dickwell right there going into the final turn. Can he get the traction?
And Fitz spins.
Oh, that's absolutely gutting.
And then Colin Edwards comes along, picks up the pieces. But yes, X-Max does get ahead of Fitz Dickwell.
Yeah, like we can, if we look at the position changes, yeah, Max got already 5 positions up, and yeah, the big loser is behind him, Colin Edwards, who lost 10 positions with that spin he had. And Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, it really just
I
does
think-
suck for Garrett Elder down in P19. He's 21 seconds off the back. He's just not been able to catch back up.
He's gonna need a safety car to get him in.
yeah, true.
And it's so difficult to get the traction you need to make the overtakes. Similar, even remotely similar overtakes we saw in the sprint race, which was electrifying. We saw tons of different overtakes, and it's just the drivers don't have the confidence, they don't have the traction, they just can't perform like they were previously.
Ooh, Fitzgerald has had a moment. Now he's fighting with combined YouTuber in the final sector. Who will be out ahead? Looks like it'll be combined, but watch out for Fitz as he might make one. Down the outside at the triple right-hander, he does not.
That's some pretty close fighting at the midfield and kinda at the back of the field. And at the top, it's pretty.
Underneath versus
Pretty-
Alvarez. Alvarez comes into the pits, which is a bit early to be pitting, especially in these wet conditions.
Maybe has front wing damage.
See,
And,
Yep.
yeah, he
yes,
does.
They're putting
he
a wing on
does.
him.
Oh, and Dougie with a slide out of turn 9. Not going to do him any favors, but well, it's about 2/10 that corner. As BC a spinner of Dan.
Damn.
That is.
I'm wondering if Dan is his real name or it's Daniel. Then the meme would be quite perfect with "Damn Daniel."
I think
Damn,
he
Daniel.
prefers to go by
Damn.
Daniel, if I'm not mistaken. Weirdly enough, I don't know why his name is Dan here, but or maybe Shadow. you can
Oh,
call
and
him
Sarah
Shadow.
versus Beamer. Side, Beamer defension as they fight through the start of the final sector. See beautiful moves here, left, right. Sire down the inside. Beamer will try the cutback, and Beamer has tried, but he has not got past. And Sire gets up into second place.
It's pretty close and pretty clean fighting from both of them. Syra, whoa, get a
Mix
little,
up
little
there.
bit of moments.
Beamer, however, has a look in that final hairpin. Doesn't quite pull it off. As we start lap 7 of this United States Grand Prix. Beamer versus Sarah. Beamer has a lot of battery, 40% compared to Sarah's 6%. Down the first corner, not quite on the braking. To be a game of patience.
Beamer got a little bit of understeer into that second corner.
And in the
But
meantime,
now
now,
thing,
sorry for interrupting, but Freddie Rozelle is now within a second of Beamer and Syra.
maybe Red Bull can play,
Inviting
can
Rizal into here.
play the team game here. And I also think Sarah has more pace than Beamer. Already pulling that
But he's gone
8
wide.
Oh,
And I'll tell you what, I've been watching the board, and Jack Fletcher has just been within 3 to 4 tenths of Fitzdick-Well for the last several laps. He just hasn't been able to make an overtake yet, but I feel like it's coming. And it might be coming right now. He goes on the inside, just didn't have the space, didn't have the room for it right there.
yeah.
The difference is pretty heavy. Both are spamming those batteries, but has a bit more to give. But Jack Fletcher doesn't look like he's going to make the move anytime soon into that final hairpin. He hit down into 13. It is not going to
Oh.
look that likely. He's had a snap as well. What's that? As Dougie Falcons with another 52 dead is running away out front here in Austin.
And the two Mercedes kind of overlooked so far, but they're up 3 positions and 7 positions in the case of Max, and now they're back up to Nathan Doan's position, and Simon was breathing down his neck earlier in that lap, and we'll see if he can continue to do that.
Yeah.
Well, the Mercs have had good starts. Sarah picks up a penalty.
Pretty big.
That is big.
It's really very crucial for Sarah.
It is. Sliding all around the circuit to try and...
Knows I'm thinking. I'm seeing a lot of people struggling very much. Like, if you've put on a wet setup, it's pretty easy to drive with that wet setup. Like, if you're putting
sorry
on
to
a
interrupt,
dry
but
setup.
Simon dives on the inside of Nathan Doan. Can Nathan Doan? He goes wide, but Simon has a little bit of a snap. Can Max get in there? He's just a little bit too far back, but he might have a little bit of slipstream. Whoa, what is going on?
What the
Bro,
hell is
got all the way to the Mexican border with
What
how
an
much
absolute
of the
legend.
wrong phrasing. Making a complete mockery of the Jonafarians in there.
And the Mercedes, Nathan Doan stays in front of Max, but he doesn't. Oh, for now.
Absolutely.
What in the world
And
did we
that
just
is
witness?
that. Nathan
The
Doan
Mercedes,
has-
what a move. But Nathan Doan's still fighting. This is...
The team game is on
amazing.
strong down at Mercedes, that's for sure.
who
Oh,
is
Nathan
number
Doan.
one?
And and Max gets right past him.
Wow. The Mercedes, that was insane. Absolutely insane.
That was an incredible team game. Max just taking as much of that red painted asphalt there. I don't blame him, honestly. If you pave something, you expect a racing driver to the assumption is that a racing driver will give the racing driver an inch and they'll take a mile.
And he certainly did that right there.
He took just enough.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was the quote from Senna again? If you no longer go for a gap, that
You're
was
doesn't
a
from-
exist.
driver.
Exactly.
If you pave it, I'll drive over it from Mario Andretti.
Yep.
And another 2 3-second time penalties back to back for P12 and P13.
Well,
And Dan in
Not a good
P15
race
on
from
the
him.
rear of Fitstick. Well, was within a tenth there for a second. 2 tenths now. Dan doesn't get the traction he needed to right there. Fitz runs away a little bit. Otherwise, he may have had a run at this hairpin. Doesn't look like he's going to get it right now.
with a penalty to add to the tally.
Oh, and here we are again. Freddie Wazell back again within 1 second. This time about 8 tenths to Beamer.
Yeah.
But Cyrus pulled quite a big gap on Beamer, almost 2 seconds.
Yeah, Sarah is pushing to get out of the penalty range.
Oh, this could be huge. Will there be a safety car?
This is
And there
huge as
is.
Ranger, and there is a safety car out. The safety car is out. And
Okay,
Colin
that's a-
Edwards, first to pit.
Had a
Will he take a
question
punt
about-
on those inters?
That's what I'm wondering.
Who will
What
take a
tire will
punt
he do?
on an intermediate?
Oh,
and Jack Fletcher.
with the drive-through, absolutely horrifying. You never want to see that as a drive-through. It's miserable.
Uh,
Yeah,
And they're sticking with wet tires.
into the pits. Combined YouTuber as well. On to the wets. Everyone will be pitting for wet tires. Jack Fletcher has to drive down the pit lane one more time in this race. Others are nearly hitting the wall in the pit entry.
I wonder if someone will gamble to the Inters. I wonder.
It looks like it's raining quite heavily still, so there is a huge doubt.
But we know that it's going to dry up a little bit towards the end. It's still going to rain, but it should be more interweather towards the end. Do you think these guys should have just stayed on wets for as long as they could go?
if there's nothing to lose, they could have pitted. It's not that difficult to overtake around here, and you don't lose as much time pitting under safety cars as in normal bike conditions. So I think they, and it's also the wet tire degradation, right? That they also kind of degraded a sense. There's not much you can do on the safety car. If you're on 40% tires, you're gonna just have no pace compared to the people on fresh new tires.
You see, Ducky, as he go into the pits, he
Oh.
stays out, and Beamer goes in, interestingly.
Yeah,
So does Freddy, with a little slide, but no damage. Fry goes in the pits as well, so does Matteo. So, I think, yeah, only the two Ferraris are staying out. So, we might see a little strategy at Sarah as well.
Interesting.
We might say,
interesting strategy from Ferrari out here.
yep. And did Beamer got ahead of Nathan? He did.
Beamer did get out ahead,
That's
yes.
pretty big.
So, Beamer is now the leading new wet tire runner,
Yeah.
as you can say. And
Is that the
Yeah, Fletcher with
second
a
drive-through?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Just hang it up at that point.
No. Yes, yeah.
So, I don't know about the idea from Nathan, Dougie, and Sarah, but Beamer has now fresh wet tires, and I don't know how the pace difference is. I never tried it out in this game. But if it's like half a second, maybe even higher, then Beamer is in a very good position.
Beamer could be in a good position to outright win this Grand Prix. If he doesn't bottle it.
I mean, this would be kind of funny. He wins Division 3, has a shot now for winning Division 2. Should we stick him into Division 1? That's the question.
You have to. If he wins, put him in a seat tomorrow.
Yep.
Put him in that seat. Yes, put him in a seat. From this race.
As Jack Fletcher did call it quits. So the two Aston Martins, P18, P19, will not receive points for this race. Devastating race for him.
Also there, I didn't mention, or we didn't mention yet, but technically with one wet tire set, you can go through the whole race.
Yeah.
But fresh wet tires are like Beamer has 10 lap younger wet tires than Sarah Dougie, and behind him Nathan. So he should have better pace, as he nearly sends it into Sarah's back.
See, and we've got half the race to run here in Coda.
So I think the safety car will go in next lap, except Garrett
This
and
lap, but
it's
Alvarez.
gonna be close.
Yeah, they'll probably need to catch up still.
And it's gonna be next lap, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
no, it's
the-
gonna be this lap. Now that's interesting. When will Dougie jump the gun and give out the controls and resume this Grand Prix?
Maybe now, or maybe out of the last corner if you're smart, because you can easily spin it there.
Yeah, it could be anywhere on the circuit. Dougie Falcons, and I think he may have gone. He is gone.
Oh, Beamer, don't overtake, or you get penalized. Oh, Cyril with a big moment opens.
Yeah, but he's already lost place, Sarah. Already lost the place.
Yeah,
As we
Beamer
start lap 13.
and Cyril
Even
sends
already
it up
as
the
Nathan
grid.
done.
Wow.
Whoa!
They contact. Nathan versus Fred. Ooh, and they make contact as well. Sure, I could get into this. But the Alpines stay put. Colin versus Max, and Colin gets that done. My
And
YouTuber.
Sarah doesn't give up the position yet.
He hasn't given it up. No, he hasn't.
Overtakes him again, and Fred right at the back of Beamer. So
Fred must be. It indeed is the fight of the legend. It's the battle of the century as Troy loses 2 places.
Simon a little
Ooh,
bit
and
squirreling.
Ernie makes a move along the inside. I think he overtook nearly 2 guys
step
right
up.
there.
And Alvarez. But
Simon and Try.
Troy versus calling their massive lock up over the curbs. Tato Skin down the outside into the final sector. He's stole initiative.
Wow.
And Dougie Falcon's already 1.1 seconds in the lead of the US Grand Prix.
And also Beamer and Freddy, the 2 leading new wet tire runner.
Yeah,
They don't gain that much time on Sarah or Dougie.
they're not. They're not.
Oh, and Alvarez and Dan have a tiny bit of contact right there as Alvarez just sent it along the inside of Dan. Luckily, Dan was looking out for it.
And Sarah is
Ooh.
building the gap now to Beamer. And Freddy has some great topspin now, sending it into the inside.
Will he? Yes, he has. That is late.
And he makes it stick
Yeah.
to P3.
Yep.
Now the question is Freddy gonna pass Syra? He's for sure. Like Syra has already that 3-second time penalty, so
Yeah.
Red Bull might play the team game.
They probably will, I think.
Yeah, but first I think Freddy needs to build a gap to Beamer so they don't lose that much time. And he has already a 1.1 second gap.
Yeah, it's a big one. Sector 3, and that's our McNerney round with his end plate missing. Him bidding, I think. Another set of wets.
Let's check something real quick. If we do the math. So, the interweather should start in around 5-ish laps. That's when we'd see the rain to start to die down a little bit.
Hmm.
And so I'm wondering if anyone predicting the rain, you know, Jeff's in the rear, anyone has something different going on, is going to make a switch. Who's going to make the switch first? Obviously, we have several laps to go before that happens. If it does happen, you know, the game is quite fidgety. So I'm interested to see who's going to be brave, who's going to be a coward, and I think it's really going to shake up the grid, which is already pretty tight.
Yeah, it'll be a chaotic ending. Possibly, it could be earlier for the intermediates, it could be later. The intermediates might never actually come, so we might see this whole race on the full wet.
That is true. But let's say Eric McNerney is like now 20.7 seconds behind Fitz. Like behind
Luis Alvarez around in the final sector again. Sorry, the fastest man on the track.
Yeah, those two Red Bulls are pushing now to get to Dougie.
They definitely are.
And Mateo, the Wonder Boy, catching up to Nathan Doan right now. You know, he didn't have a great race last time in Singapore, and we were expecting a lot from him. But he's really shown his talent this time, and especially in the Alpine, it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, nice to see Mateo fulfill more of his potential. We saw it in last season's races as well. He was up there at the front. It's great to see him back up. Ooh, when they make contact, the Alpines. Just like in the real life Grand Prix in Australia 2 weeks ago, they make contact as well.
Yeah, definitely no team orders going on right there.
Yeah.
Who's going to keep the place?
On the inside.
Also, just was Syra into some corners. He
Ooh.
is
Fight up
pretty-
here. Oh, Potato Skin versus Max. Fighting, but looks like they've all been settled.
pretty interesting to see how Syra takes every corner. Like, he goes out of a corner, slams the throttle and slides into the next corner. That's pretty
Oh!
interesting to watch.
And that's it. Try gets a little bit too happy on throttle, and you know, ruins his day. Goes from P7 to P15 just like that. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And
A
Alvarez,
10-second penalty. Corner cutting.
brother.
That's
That
pretty
is-
disappointing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And
he's
I don't
retired
blame
in the
you.
pit
I
lane.
don't blame you. The Danimal, P12 right now, 3 tenths from combined YouTuber, and that whole crowd from what, P8 back is just, they are right next to each other.
Yeah, it is a big one. And Nathan Doan, the next driver with a 3-second time penalty.
As the Danimal about to be overtaken by Blue Collar Jesus, his team principal, because he had a moment. Blue Collar Jesus had to go for it. Of course, Garrett is faster, but Dan still could have had it, but let's his team principal have it right there. P13, P12 for the Williams.
To the final corners, there is much fighting, but the Red Bulls have definitely closed up, especially Sarah. The gap is 1.1 seconds now. So that will be interesting to see whether the Red Bulls will get Dougie and maybe pass him.
Well, Fred has 70 ERS. Dougie only has 40. Syra does have 20, so he's burning quite a bit. Fred needs to get past Syra, but will he is another question.
Yeah, it's will he or will Fred respect Team Orders?
And Max has just hit the back of Potato Skin. I don't think there's any damage. Luckily, no one was completely taken out of the race, but it was close. Potato Skin had to do quite a bit of saving right there. He's lucky it didn't end in disaster.
Stay into turn 1. Doesn't quite make it, Max. Got about 11 laps remaining in this race.
I'm wondering if Red Bull plays the team game and Sarah lets Ready by.
Depending on the options I think there.
And I think the Freddy has the fresh attire, and also Sarah still has the 3-second time penalty.
Will Dougie and Sarah stay out until the end of the wet tire period? Because that is the underlying question here at Coda today.
That's actually a very good question. How fast will the intermediates pick up? If they pick up as Mateo goes along, takes a dive on the inside of Nathan Doan in the Ferrari.
He's done it. Nathan doesn't have anywhere to go. Onto the curbs he gets shoved and second on the move, but it also doesn't quite do it.
So Mateo up into the P5 in the Alpine. That is wonderful to see, especially after what we saw in the Division 3 race.
Oh, Nathan.
And
Got some moments.
Alrighty.
I know the Max is pulling on some pressure on Potato Skin.
A lot of
Potato
pressure.
Skin is not trying to overtake Simon, gets up the inside. Tries to shut it up, but he's side by side with him. Now gets a better
Rizal.
That is
Ready.
massive. Oh my god.
Ready with that 3-second
Absolute
time
fool.
penalty. So if
Lord.
I say no, if Dougie gets now a 3-second time penalty too, and Beamer is very close to all 3 of them, then he will get him in, but
That you're sipping on a lot of copium or hopium right there, dude.
Yep.
That
Yep.
shit.
A
ain't
lot of
happening.
ballsy prediction for sure, and Blue Collar Jesus as well. With it. Ooh, Potato Skin hitting the back of Nathan Doan, who has the same amount of battery as they are going to fight down into turn number 12. Nathan pulling away by a mile in that. And Dan gets his team principal while at it.
and also Fred tried to attack Sarah, so I don't think they're in a conversation or something now.
Ooh,
really
get a little
close
spicy in the
call.
Rebel Garage.
They are close. What's going on there?
Go for it, Fred. Don't be a coward now.
Ooh, Stars had a moment.
Just
They're
don't
gonna be
take each other
side by
out.
side.
What the fuck is going on with the Red Bulls? Yeah, I mean, Freddy has the fresh attire.
Oh, and Fred's gonna go for it for sure here.
Yeah.
There's the yellow flag as
And
Dan
they're
has spun
still side
around.
by side. They're still side by side. So
Oh, now Fred
Syra
has to let go. Ugh.
definitely not playing the team game, and I've already seen them doing 360s.
Yeah, dude, Duncan
So-
Mechanic is having sweats right now, dude.
Yep.
There, Duncan is probably having a sweat out there.
Absolutely.
Like, Doug is now, like, fuck the shit out and has now a 2.5 second lead.
We're on national
He pulled
airways. We
away.
can't curse. We're on national airways.
No,
Oh,
he's gonna attack
the
again.
AlphaTauri attacks
again.
Nathan Doan, but Freddie Rosell attacks his teammate as well.
Ooh, pretty deep for both.
Balls run wide. Freddie hits
Oh,
Syra. They've collided.
and Beamer.
And Beamer.
Oh,
Oh,
Beamer.
Nathan.
Nathan has retired. What is
Nathan
going on?
retires. And the two Red Bulls are fighting for their life. What is going on?
What in the world? Freddie Rosell.
And also Nathan
The
retired on the
inside.
Nathan retired on the straight, so it's pretty interesting how he retired.
He had an
But
engine
yeah.
failure, dude.
Yeah.
He had a gearbox failure.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but now Freddy got ahead of Sarah finally. And now
And then Nathan.
Yes.
Now Beamer versus Syra out here.
and
Or
now
is that another
Freddy
moment?
needs to catch up 3.1 seconds now to Dougie. And gain
wants to
again
win?
3 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Colin Edwards made a look. Has to go. Wait, I locked up a little bit right there.
Oh, he's fighting with combined YouTuber for a spot in the top 10.
So this lap, it's around when the rain was supposed to be dying down. Now, I myself am no rain expert. I'm not going to pretend to be. But are y'all noticing any differences? Is the sky a little bit bluer? Is the track a little bit drier?
Nope.
None I can see of.
Nope, still the same. My camera.
Yeah, still the same.
Oh, sorry
Oh,
if
this has gone very deep. It's gonna allow Beamer to get back through, to get through.
Beamer having a hell of a night.
Having a great race in the rain.
Yeah, like, if he stays with Freddy, like, if he stays in there for a second years, P2 for sure. So,
Yeah.
and now,
And Sarah comes in.
oh, that's,
Ooh, now we're talking.
Oh,
Now we
that's-
are talking.
that's interesting.
So, have they? Yep. He's taken on the Inters. He's taken on a huge punt.
All right,
What
so
will this do to his race?
let's see. I love it. I love a little risk taking. This is what I was.
A
this is
little
what I was
gamble,
hoping to
don't we?
see.
He's dropped right to the back in 14th.
Also, we didn't mention with Matteo in before. A little bit of dark horse at the moment. Sitting kind of
Yeah.
lonely.
Very well live. A Freddie result absolutely eating into Higgins' lead.
Oh, and Max has contact with Potato Skin. Both of these Mercedes, I think they've swapped places a little bit. They've been behind this AlphaTauri for so long. They've been on his rear. They just haven't been able to make a move. And that goes to show the AlphaTauri's defensive skills. He's had
Ooh,
some
what a big
great
foul.
defense, and they just haven't been able to get past him.
Yep. And Max dumping his entire battery, but Potato Skin just has 40% max. It's down to 9. Now flashing as Colin Edwards looks for a move. But this could be enough between the Dougie Falcons, the race leader, and Freddie Rosell, the hunter.
Yeah, also Syra doesn't gain any time on the Inter, so this, I think, wasn't quite the move to make.
It is a bit early.
And they're side by side right now. This is phenomenal. Oh, and they touch
Ooh.
big time. Is this going to allow Simon to go through? They're both mega wide.
Yep.
What in the world did we just
Huge.
witness?
They've taken the car line, potato skin.
And Simon's going to get a run on
Fred
his teammate, I
Verdughi.
think.
Yeah, and Fred is now very, very close to Dougie. So I think
Very close indeed. He's probably memorized the Ferrari rear wing.
yep. And I think that Dougie is struggling with those white tires. So now 22 laps older than Freddy and Beamer. Still have those fresh, I would say. I mean, they're not
Oh
young.
my
Yeah,
god.
Dylan Flack and Syra
Oh
has
my
bottled
god.
it.
No, it was on track. He's still moving. Like the car is still moving,
Yeah.
so...
He had a Nathan Donuts, and dude, the gearbox, the engine, it just blew.
Yep, exactly.
Let's see then. Freddie Rizal versus Dougie Falcons. And combined YouTuber gets past Blue Collar Jesus. For how much longer?
So you guys think...
Ooh, Fred.
Yeah, head spread had a little bit of a moment. You think Sire just wasn't making the gap he wanted to and gave up?
Yeah, I
What a
think it
coward.
just didn't pan out for him as well.
Absolute coward.
Oh. The gamble that went a bit wrong. Freddie Rizal getting very loose to the triple right-hander.
Oh, and Fry goes
Sounds
for a
like-
great move. Oh, but he hits someone just a little bit. Hits Blue Collar Jesus. They're still going to be side by side going into this right-hander, though. And Blue Collar Jesus gets that position right back.
Yeah.
And it's getting kind of spicy now in the front as well. The top three pretty close together. But still
Yeah,
Fred.
it is. Getting spicy. And Freddie very, very close to Dougie's rear end. Let's send one into 11. Not quite.
And
Dougie
home.
just calmly holding himself as they now head down the backstretch here at Coda. Just after the lead, they're both dumping their backs. Freddie Rizal down to 8%. He's going to go down the outside into turn 12.
Oh, he had to go
and he's
wide.
gone off the circuit. He's gone off the track. He's recovered. He's gone back down the inside. Will Dougie put up a fight? No, he just doesn't have the tire grip to put up a fight in this.
And now Beamer's right there with him.
Beamer's in there as well. Yes.
And now Freddy
Hot
needs
take.
to keep going.
Hot take. I think Beamer will win this race.
Yeah,
Freddie
you're
will
on
not
crack.
make the gap in time.
Yeah, but
Well,
Dougie
maybe
Falcons
not.
is still right there. I don't
Look
know.
out that
I think
difference,
he'll
though.
be wide. I think he'll be wide.
I think Freddy will win this because now Beamer needs to overtake Dougie as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Freddy
needs to
can push
happen.
like hell now.
it can happen. Dougie, look, it's anything close to 6 seconds, which you never know. It could be a Beamer victory.
He's already pulled a 1.9
Yeah,
second
he's
gap,
fine.
so...
And- But the problem with Freddie is he's only one warning away from
Oh.
6 seconds of time penalties. It could be that Freddie does buckle and does get a 6 second. So you never know with how
No.
this will play out, but
But Beamer has a
Freddie, I
3
think, has
second
won
as
this race
well.
now.
So, oh, and Beamer just hit
Ooh,
Dougie
Beamer.
Falcons. Oh my god.
Went from good to very good to... yeah.
Cool, hot
Absolutely
take.
beautiful. Yeah, that hot take. That shit ain't happening no more.
yeah, very hot take. So you're at McNerdy. fitting on the inters.
Oh, Beamer goes on the inside of Dougie right there.
Ooh. Right up the inside, Dougie.
I love it. What a
Again,
move.
powerless to defend.
Now for edges, don't choke. And it
Yeah.
is certainly raining less right now. It most
It is definitely subsided.
Also, Eric Menon is out on Angel, so
He's
if
only
he
a
gains
minute
time on-
behind.
Yeah, yeah, but still, if Eric gains time on Fitz, it's in this time. Basically.
Hitter's time
Yeah.
with 3 laps left.
Time for who though? Will anyone want to back out and lose their advantage?
Absolutely nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Mateo, the Alpine in P4, running a lonely race right now. He's 8 seconds back and then basically 2.5 seconds in front. Just no one near him. But so far, so good. Keeping it clean in that P4 position.
Yeah, gonna be.
And Fitz Stickwell goes for the pit.
I mean, he's in on intermediates, and that's Max as well with a 3-second time penalty. So, only Dougie, Mateo, Potato Skin, Simon, and Shry do not have time penalties. So, only 5 of 14 don't have penalties at the minute.
Yep.
And Dougie will go without pitting in this race. Obviously, you don't have to if it's a wet race. But everyone else did.
Pit.
Mm.
Shot for Shry, because he is onto something here. Purple. There are 2 laps to go for Freddie Rizal.
Yep. We
Pound
got 2
is
laps
on the start of the
remaining.
Americas.
And the weary knight in chat is going to watch Freddie
Oh,
Rizal
wait.
take victory as
Is
Dougie
Ooh,
Falcons
Dougie.
diving
Got a
into the
puncture.
pits. Going for
Got a
puncture.
fastest lap? Is Mateo
No,
up
he
in
got
the-
a
puncture.
Oh,
He got a
punction.
puncture.
Oh my god.
A puncture. Wow.
Jesus.
Do we see Mateo on the podium?
Rest in piss, Dougie Falcons. The weary knight, you are a bad omen, my friend.
The commentator's curse. You said it sometime in the final sector. He would no stop. But ooh,
That's-
Beamer.
No, Beamer. Not like this.
No. Another commentator's curse. And at this rate, we'll see Potatoes get Mateo on the podium.
It's certainly possible. Mateo's got to keep it clean with 2 laps remaining.
Dan. Spinning
I mean-
around.
The Danimal.
Does Mateo have a podium yet? Or is it the first one for him?
I
think it might be the first one. Or no, it's not the first one. He got a podium in Austria last season. In another wet race.
True.
Beamer, however, is holding on just fine without the front wing, interestingly.
That is very bizarre.
I think he might just stay out here.
And
Oh, wait,
Simon
what?
overtakes
Finally
Potato
gets
Skin.
Potato Skin.
I
Oh,
didn't know.
White Potato Skin
Does he stay on?
says no to that.
Beamer's got to
He
stay.
said
Yeah, dude, he has to. I think technically you can ticket it, but I don't know. Simon, oh my god, that is humongous. He might be able to.
That is a lot. Simon with a penalty.
He might be able to get that one removed, saying there was not enough space for him. But you know, his team principal Carl is gonna have to do a lot of work there.
Yeah. Dougie gets down. What? Dougie Falcons has probably lost his race. He's definitely lost the race. And here is the Beamer Nightmare section. This is where that lack of a front wing will destroy him.
And Fitz Dickwell, the fastest man on track. Absolutely flying right now.
Phenomenal, but we then. Oh,
yellow
potato
flag.
skin as well. Potato skin as well.
Oh, and Simon.
It's also Simon. Potato skin cure. Or finisher if the damages on Beamer's car still destroy him more, or Freddy crashes.
Take it hard, dude. Eric McNerney, the fastest man on track, steals it from Fitz Dickwell. But Freddie Rozelle entering the final sector.
As he enters the final 3 corners of the lap here at Coda. There's been a dominant drive, or a dominant last 5 laps from Freddie Rozelle.
Exactly.
Here on the Circuit of the Americas, he comes round the final corner. Freddie Rozelle has one more corner to navigate here at Austin, and he wins the United States Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely shitting on our stomping grounds right now. The 20 viewers in chat are lucky to witness this greatness. Freddie Rozelle, P1, Beamer, P2, but he will not keep it if Mateo
P3
doesn't
on
get a penalty.
penalty.
Mateo in P2, the Wonder Boy, knocks Beamer to P3. X-Max, everyone's favorite pervert, goes down to P5 with penalties, and the AlphaTauri has a great race, gets to P4. Blue Collar Jesus somehow makes it into the top 10 and top 6. Like, exactly.
The Falcons in the top 8, recovering player.
Rest
Combined
in
YouTuber
peace.
in 9th place, a good result from him. And Simon, the last of your top 10 drivers. Owen Edwards, Dan, Fitz Dickwell, and Aaron McNerney is yet to finish this race.
He will eventually.
He will. And that's Aaron McNerney's US Grand Prix done and over. And hope you enjoyed that, and see you in the Netherlands next week.
Well, we're gonna get little interviews. We got to see what Max has to say. We got to see what, just because he's a
Oh,
freak
there
and
Darwin
we like
helped
to
us
talk
say
to him.
indeed.
Freddie Rozelle, he's always
Well-
got some words. We're gonna get him to say something to the great chatter known as the Weary Knight. Freddie Rozelle, your winner. Mateo, if he wants to as well. What a great race.
And what a race. Man.
Get him onto here. 3, 2, 1. Do I move Freddy?
Yeah, bring him in here.
Alright, and welcome our race winner, Freddie Rozelle.
Baby. Freddie, baby, what's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm gonna throw up.
You're gonna throw up? Dude, throw up in your hand, finish the interview, and then go to the bathroom, man. What a great
Yeah,
race.
I feel so sick.
Dude.
Like, mate, I'm aching. My throat hurts. Just ill. Been ill the last few days, but you know, after a shocking sprint,
Yeah,
I feel
Jesus.
like, you know, with the right strategy, right engineer, you know, I won. So, can't complain. Kind of annoyed Dougie's P8 though. So,
Yeah, rest in piss, Dougie Falcons. His tire just blew up. I mean, you pretty much dominated. I didn't know you were gonna win, but you did. You killed it. You got some fans in the chat. What do you have to say to them?
thanks.
Thanks,
Subscribe to Zoom Racing League.
dude. This is your time to be selfish. You can say anything,
mate.
dude. Say
I
anything.
can be selfish any other day, just not now. It's 6 a.m. I want to go fucking bed.
6 a.m. dude. The day's just begun, my friend. Well, a great race, great weekend. Have a good rest.
Cheers for a broadcast, boys.
Yup. So that was the race winner, Freddie
P2.
Rozelle.
Mateo.
Yeah, bring the Mateo in. Well, let's see if he wants to. Well, so far
I
we're
mean-
getting no response.
Huh.
And that is A-okay. So,
I think we could get Beamer
where is
See,
he?
we can
Where's
get-
the beam?
Haas.
and has.
3, 2, 1. I move him.
Go for it.
Move my way.
I'm like,
Oh, he's just muted
Yeah.
himself too.
Never
What a
mind.
colossal failure for the interviews, everyone.
Huh.
That is hilarious. Alright. We will talk to you later then. We had a great race, phenomenal race here in Austin, my backyard. And so we will talk to you. What is the next race, fellas? Where are we going?
Zandvoort in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. That is
Yep.
Max's stomping ground. So yeah, we'll
Yep.
we'll see what
You
goes on
gotta
there.
see. You gotta see some Max Super Max.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hopefully.
Will we
Hell
get
yeah.
the Super Max from the Orange Army?
Yep.
So there we go.
And
Bada
see
bing,
you in
bada bang.
7 days in front of the sand dunes at Circuit Zandvoort